receive antenna array. These little dots, oops, where is my cursor there?
Locations of the vertical.
That's a circle of vertical antennas, phased vertical antennas. The smaller circle is another set of phased vertical antennas. That's all set up in a 5-acre area. That's 1,000 feet from his station. I asked him, 1,000 feet, what do you use for feed line, 1 7/8 heliax? He said, nope, RG-213. Kind of a long shot for that, and he said, at those frequencies, 160 meters and 80 meters, he said the loss is so minimal, it doesn't make any difference.
Right.
But Frank, the nice thing about him, he is very accessible. You go up and ask him any kind of question, and he tells you right up front. The only dumb question is the one that doesn't get asked. And he will answer the same question over and over and over, but he'll still answer it and give you an honest opinion.
Just for background, he was the chief engineering officer for General Dynamics. So the guy's an engineer deluxe.
He's got a resume that's unbelievable. The next day, we went to Hamvention, which was our primary purpose of being there. A lot of people try to park at Hamvention location at Green County Fair Park. Don't do it. Everybody wants to park there. The first day, we ended up in a big long line going up the main north-south drag in Xenia. We finally got to where people turn off to the fair park. Zoom. We were wide open. Went on up to Xenia High School. That's one of the 4 off-site parking locations. You park, you get out, and in this case, you get in a big long line, and you wait for the school buses. Well, when we got there a little early. This line had formed, and they only had 1 bus running. The other 2 hadn't shown up yet. And instead of selling donuts and water like they have in the past, this young man went up and down the line with his big container. Okay, I'll say the word, begging and seeking donations, and it was to go to the Xenia High School band program. So they were pretty straightforward about it. Whoop. That's the line looking at the other direction. That's the back of Jim Richardson's head. And Jim, do you remember who this gentleman was? We're standing in line. Jim, Ron, and I. This gentleman and his wife come up. They're from Edmond.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We go all the way to Xenia, Ohio, when we run into 2 folks from Edmond, from the Edmond Club.
Is that Anthony?
Anthony
From
Oh,
here?
Anthony.
Yeah, I remember the first name was Anthony. I didn't remember the last name.
and Karen was his wife.
Carrie.
But we're standing there, and Ron says, "Hi," and I went, "Who?" And they walked up. So all that distance, you meet a neighbor. As we were waiting there, we chit-chatted, finally got on a bus. As we were sitting on the bus, ready to go, the line basically disappeared because the other 2 buses showed up.
Huh.
The buses we're on, big yellow school buses, are designed for children.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
They are not designed for adults. Because when you sit down, you've got this pad, big barrier, about this far from your face. And if they had to make an emergency stop, there was no way you could put your hand, you'd be in that pad real quick. The other problem is, it's designed for kids, not for adults, and when you get in there, it is very, very tight. But it's only about a 5-minute bus ride, and it's free. We get over to the Hamvention site, get off the bus. You can either walk up to the Hamvention entrance here. They have and this is something they just started this year. You can walk up on this side of the barriers, or you can ride golf carts, and they take you on up. And this is the main entrance right up there, and go in. Either go to officials, or if you already have them, the Boy Scouts, the longest time, have had a service at Hamvention where they will laminate your entry badge. I forgot to bring mine. But, it's a very, very smooth operation. When you hand them your entry badge, you don't stop moving, you just keep sidestepping as you follow your badge down the table, it pops out at the other end on a lanyard, chip them $5. They also will take your, prize stub, they have a little barrel there, put it in. Every so often, they'll take your prize stub up to the, prize booth in the Hamvention area. They also were selling these patches. And I was kind of reminded of all the camporee and jamboree patches I got when I was a Boy Scout, and so I picked one up. Just as you come into the Hamvention area, AMSAT was doing AMSAT communications demos, very well attended, by the way. Also, when you first come into Hamvention, immediately to the right is a parking lot where folks can bring their, what I call their first responder vehicles, communications vans, whatever you want to call them. They range everything from a very well-equipped pickup truck to this. And that belongs to DARA. That's the Dayton Amateur Radio Association. They're the folks that sponsor and put on, organize, however you want to call it, Hamvention.
A hell of a job.
Yeah, they make a little money off of it. They've got their own clubhouse building and this vehicle. The big black square you see in the middle of the vehicle, that's an 80-inch LED screen.